What's up, family? Hey, I'm out in nature again. Man, I had to get out and just go for a meditative walk. You know what I mean? Um, I made a video yesterday, and I talked about how my black tourmaline, my amethyst, and my malachite bracelet broke, and I had to fix it. You can see it's the black, green, and purple one. I'm rocking it again. So, um, but I want to show you guys just one. And if I'm moving the camera too fast, my apologies. So beautiful out here, so peaceful out here. Actually, this is the first time that I've walked over here. I've never been on this trail before. Want to come and see something different. But I want to have a real heart-to-heart with you guys today. Okay? Everybody's entitled to their opinions. Everybody is entitled to their opinions. Stay with me, we're going to go somewhere. And it's going to get deep. And some people probably aren't going to like it. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? Just because you're entitled to your opinion doesn't mean that your opinions are factual. It doesn't mean that your opinions are correct. Okay? Here we go. This young lady sent me a dream. And if you know me, man, I love dreams. I love reading and listening to people's dreams and interpreting them. There's some people walking in the background. But man, I love dream interpretations. And so this lady sent me a dream. One of my subscribers sent a dream. And I was telling her what her dream meant to me, you know, what I interpreted her dream as saying. And it's crazy. People come out in nature and instead of enjoying nature, man, they're arguing, fighting, and just completely miss the purpose of being out here. You know what I mean? Just completely miss it, you know. It is what it is. So anyways, I'll explain it to her what God showed me her dream meant. And we have to understand something, family. Man, dreams, nightmares, the Bible, the Quran, the Alchemist, any book that you read, you know, any book that you read that you hold in high esteem, that has aided in your growth and development, you know, the tarot cards, oracle cards, anything like that. Man, there's so many different meanings. Stay with me. And I know some of you are going to be like, oh, wait a minute, he said tarot cards and oracle cards and all that other stuff. Man, family, we have to stop tripping. We have to stop tripping. You know, just because you don't understand something doesn't mean that it's bad. Just because you don't understand something, man, we have to stop demonizing everything we don't understand. You know what I mean? We have to outgrow that ignorance. I mean, to each their own, do you? You know what I mean? If that's how you want to live your life, keep doing it. You know what I mean? I don't have time for foolishness like that. I don't. I don't have time for, you know, to engage in conversations with people that who refuse to outgrow their ignorance, you know, and they're stuck on ignorant, you know, they don't want to hear anything, don't want to listen to anything, you know, because they have their mind made up, you know. And so we have to outgrow that. Well, in like the dreams and nightmares and stuff in these books and tarot cards and oracle cards and all these things, man, there's so many different messages in those books, in those things. They're just tools. They're tools that you can use to aid in your growth and development. And the beautiful thing about these tools is that no matter how many times you use them, every time you go to another level, you could go back to the same thing and get a totally different meaning. You could read a scripture, you could read whatever it is that you write, a passage in that book that you hold in high esteem. And every time you read it, man, you'll get a totally different nugget out of it. Every time you read it, it's like, oh, I didn't see that before. Man, I didn't catch that before. And although it's the same words, the same book, man, it has a totally different meaning for you where you're at in this area of your growth and development. It doesn't mean that all the other messages that you got from it before were wrong. It just means that, man, as you grow, you're going to get different meanings from it. You know what I mean? And we have to understand that our dreams are nightmares. Man, family, our dreams are just tools. They're tools. You know what I mean? A vision into our unconscious mind. That's all that they are. You know what I mean? I'm talking a lot about nightmares today. You know, the interesting thing about nightmares is that people tell me all the time, man, they're scared of their nightmares, you know what I mean? Their nightmares terrorize them and this, you know what I mean? And it's like, excuse me, man, they're terrorized of their nightmares, you know what I mean? And it's like they don't understand it. And this young lady that I'm talking about, she sent me her dreams, or excuse me, her nightmare, and she talked about how, man, she was awake afterwards, and man, she had a migraine headache after she had her nightmare. Stay with me, we're going somewhere. And I'll explain it to her what her nightmare meant. You know what I mean? And the interesting thing is, family, is that you know what? Our nightmares are beautiful things. I'm gonna say that again. Our nightmares are beautiful things. They're just a movie unfolding in your subconscious mind. I'm going to say that again. Our nightmares are beautiful things. They're just movies unfolding in our subconscious mind. What am I talking about? Anytime you have a nightmare, that is God's way, your conscious way, or your subconscious way of saying, hey, it's time to deal with some things that you've suppressed. It's time to deal with some things you've been pushing down, you've been ignoring, you've been putting off. You're going to deal with this in one way or another. It's time to deal with this, and you're going to deal with it. You know what I mean? And so what happens is that, man, it'll play out in a movie, or you'll see some stuff, right? And you don't really understand it. But if you take a closer look at it, man, write it down. You know, if you can remember it all, write it down, meditate on it, pray about it. You know what I mean? Whatever it is you do. And understand that, man, what is this? And ask, what is you trying to show me? See, so often we get scared and fear immobilizes us. You know, fear makes us freeze for the most part. You know, so many of us. But you have to push beyond that fear. You have to push beyond that terror and be like, okay, what are you trying to show me? What is it you want me to understand? And understand that everything that happens in that dream, everything that happens in that nightmare, man, it's something that pertains to, it's, how can I say this? It's symbolic. Whatever it is that you experience, whatever it is you see in your dreams or in your nightmare, it's symbolism. It's symbolic of something. It's symbolic of something that's been repressed. You know what I mean? And so it's being played out as a movie to show you, hey, you know, your fear of your father, your fear of being alone, your fear of getting your heart broke, your fear of not being good enough, your fear or whatever, you know what I mean? Is playing out as this thing right here. You know what I mean? It could be anything. And so you have to understand, man, what is it that really terrorizes you? What is that really you don't really want to deal with? And you know, you just don't want to deal with it. You know what I mean? You know what it is. You know what it represents. And so often we'll say, man, it means this because we don't want to really delve into the deeper meanings of it. We don't really want to get to the heart of the matter. You know what I mean? Because, man, we're scared. You know what I mean? Let's just keep it real. And so often we don't want to see certain things about ourselves. You know what I mean? We think we've outgrown certain things. We think we've moved beyond certain things. And then when we have these nightmares, it's our God's way of showing us, man, no, you ain't outgrown anything. You know what I mean? It's still there. You just haven't dealt with it. You've been ignoring it, you know? And just because you've been ignoring it don't mean that you've moved beyond it. Just because you've been ignoring it don't mean that you've overcome that. You know what I mean? It's a repressed feeling. It's a repressed um, emotion that you're going to have to deal with in some way or another. You know what I mean? And so, and it's weird because people say all the time, man, well, why does it have to be this? And why does it have to be this? Why does it have to be that? Because you wouldn't deal with it any other way. You had these things for so long, and you suppressed them, and you've ignored them, and you've pushed beyond them so long that you don't even realize that they're still there. You don't even realize that those issues are still there. You don't even understand that that problem is still present in your life. And because that problem is present in your life, it's still affecting and having an impact on your life. But you don't understand that. You don't understand how your thoughts and your fears and your insecurities and all these other things concerning whatever this issue is, how it's still playing out in your life. Because you think you've moved beyond that. You think you've outgrown that. You think that's no longer an issue for you. And so when you have these nightmares or dreams, that's your body, that's your soul, that's your spirit, that's your subconscious, that's God. All these different things, that's their way of bringing it to your attention. So, hey, man, you got to deal with this. We're tired of carrying this baggage. You got to deal with this. You got to outgrow this. You have to face this. You have to face this. And if you don't face it now, we're going to give you another nightmare. And if you don't face it then, we're going to give you another nightmare. And another one. And another one. And another one. And another one. And we're going to keep giving you nightmares and different things of this nature. Why? Not to scare you, not to traumatize you, but to get you to face these issues. You can't grow through something if you don't face it. You can't move beyond something you never face. You never deal with. In 94, 95, I wrote a quote. I made a quote that said, fear. Excuse me, brain fart. Saw some fish jump in the water out there. The quote said, wisdom is found deep within the jungles of the mind. Most are not courageous enough to enter therein and just glance at it from afar. I'm going to say that again. Wisdom is found deep within the jungles of the mind. Most are not courageous enough to enter therein and just glance at it from afar. What is that saying? Man, that's saying just what it says. You know, in order to grow, in order to be enlightened, in order to have wisdom, man, you're going to have to face some stuff. You're going to have to face some fears. You're going to have to go into your subconscious mind and deal with your issues in order to outgrow that. You know, I'm part Native American, and there are many different tribes of Native Americans. And as a rite of passage for some of the tribes, what they would do, I'm still talking about the same thing, stay with me. They would take the young man out. The father would take the young man out. and he had to face his fears. And one of the things that he had to do was, we're going to go and you're going to sit on this log, or you're going to sit on this log all night. All night. And you're not going to move. I don't care what you hear. I don't care what you smell. I don't care what's going on. Do not move from this spot. And the young man is blindfolded, led out into the woods by his father, and sat on a rock or a tree stump or whatever. And he has to stay there all night long, blindfolded. He can't see what's going on. It's nighttime. He hears all kinds of things. He senses all kinds of things. But he can't move. He can't take the blindfold off. He has to sit there, right there, with all that going on around him, and find his peace. Stay with me, we're going somewhere. The young man doesn't realize what's going on. He's just told, man, I have to sit in this. I have to hear everything going on around me. But I can't move. I can't move. That's how life is for us. That's how life is for us. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. That's how our dreams are. That's how our nightmares are. See, because what the young man doesn't realize is that he's being protected. He don't know it. He can't see it. He doesn't know. He's not aware that his father is sitting off, watching over him all night long. He doesn't know that his father is protecting him. In his mind, he's all alone. But in reality, his father's never left him. Again, just because you are entitled to your opinion doesn't mean it's right. This young man's opinion was that, man, I'm all alone. I can't see what's going on. Nobody's protecting me. What if something happens to me? Who's gonna know? His father. Because his father's watching him. His father's protecting him. In these dreams, in these nightmares, whatever it is you're going through, you're never alone. Everything that comes up to you, whatever fear you have to face that. You have to face that. Knowing that you're not alone. I don't care how you feel. I don't care what your circumstances look like. You're never alone. And that fear isn't to traumatize you. That fear is to get you to outgrow it and to understand the root cause of it. Don't get stuck in your fears. Don't get stuck in your opinions. Don't get stuck in what you think you know. My hope and prayer is that you would muster up the courage, the faith to understand that you are never alone. You're never alone. You're always been protected. And all the hell that you're going through, all the hell that you've gone through was character building. Stay with me. Not only was it character building, but it's showing you who you are. It was helping you on your journey. It was molding you. It was refining you. It was helping you understand who you are, how strong you are, how courageous you are. I love you guys. Happy healing. Peace.